Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we are taking a look at Pajamas Beerus. Now this guy is terrible as it stands right now, but I mean we've done a million of these major celebrations by now. We know the structure and how they're going to operate. This guy and the free-to-play Frieza should be getting an Easy A in part 3. Now Beerus I think does need quite a bit in order to be good. I think they have to give him quite a lot. I just don't see any reason why he can't be good. I mean, just because he's a free-to-play character does not mean we automatically have to make him not really that good, right? It's very stupid. Now, I have not given him equips yet. I guess I probably could, but I'm going to wait until he Easy A's. Judging by the fact that for the first 5 turns of battle, Beerus can't attack, that leaves us with 2 options: raw defense or dodge. I mean, I know how everyone gets down, right? Like, we gotta obsessively slam crit on his build and stuff like that, but, again, I mean, that boy is asleep. He's an EP boy. He's not getting up, so we're gonna need him to continue to be defensive. He does have support in base. Let's just jump in. I'm not really sure which fight to go into. I guess maybe we'll do, like, the Supreme Battle Spectacle against God Goku. Maybe that'll work well. Alright, guys, here we go with the sleepy... Look at... Dude, he's such a sleepy boy, man. Look at him. Look at him. He's really tired. It's super tiring. Alright, now we're against Red Zone Cell. I had to search long and hard for a Turles friend. I found one. I wanted to do the Supreme Battle Spectacle against God Goku, but, you know, I mean, life's a bitch. That's how it goes. Okay, so Beerus, remember, we do want to pair him up with, like, a Beerus if possible. Beerus was in slot 7. He was in, you know, farthest possible, spot away. I guess we could just float off. Maybe sweepy Beerus. So Beerus doesn't really do a ton, right? Well, actually, that's not true. He does. But he can attack, in his, like, kind of, like, phase like this. Like, we can see. No attacks coming in. But again, Beerus actually is kind of... Like, I like what they're going with here, but he's just not good enough yet. So he gets 150% defense at the start of turn. Okay. He gets 30% damage reduction, which is good. But then every turn that passes, it goes down 10%. So, obviously, that's bad. Because, I mean, this guy can't attack. So, I'm not really too sure why his defense needs to be heavily gated like this. Again, I mean, there's a pretty good chance it's going to get a lot better after he Easy A's, but we will see. Then he does give all allies 20% attack, which is fine. And then every turn that passes gets an additional 10% up to 30. So he could be giving 50% attack support, which, I mean, sure, is fine. Then he changes physical key spheres to rainbow, so he is rainbow orb changing and supporting with attack, which is good. And then finally, Beerus gets 30% defense per key sphere obtained. And then we can do the active skill and wake Beerus up starting from turn 5. So we still have a few turns left. Actually, yeah, we should just float him off right here. So really, all we're looking at on this rotation in terms of what Beerus did is... Yeah, I guess there's no reason to give him orbs. I mean, whatever, I'll give him the orbs. Well, I guess he does get, 30% defense per key sphere. So that's pretty important. But you guys, I mean, you guys know. It's not 2020 where just raw defense is good enough, right? Like, that doesn't cut it. Like, it's like he needs way more. Like, number one, Beerus needs to start at 90% damage reduction, and then we can talk. This 30%, that shit is gonna be a joke in front of these big bosses. Yeah, he's a sleepy boy. It's double digits right there, which is pretty good, I guess. All right, we'll come back. I guess we're gonna have the one turn where Beerus is in kind of sleepy mode, and then Beerus is gonna come back to us on turn 5, ready to transform and see what else he can do. All right, guys. So now we're over here on turn 5. You know what that means. Time for our father to come play. We're going to be able to get the support for them. Oh, that's pretty good. Again, we're going to have most of our links activated. Pajamas Beerus really could be pretty impactful, man. Because if Pajama Beerus, if he really does become like really strong defensively, he could be good if they would give us another Beerus card, right? It could be really, really cool. Okay, so now it's turn 5, right? Right now, Beerus is given a bunch of support. I mean, he did still Rainbow Orb change, but we're going to go ahead and use the active skill and Awaken. Let's also transform Goku and Vegeta to get that support. Might as well.
元気をみんなの元気をくれこのままじゃオラ死ねねえんだくそー頼むぜカカロットこの俺に力をくれお前らああ
Alright, so Beerus is not really so sleepy anymore. So when we awaken Beerus, notice that he does get the target mechanic. I guess that's written into his... Where is that written? Is it just in his passive? I think it must be written in his active skill. Let me just take a look at this. Yeah, I think it's in his active skill. Okay. So once we transform, so you awaken, now Beerus can actually, like, attack and stuff like that. 12 key super attack, he gets 30% attack for 1 turn, does seal enemy attack, that's good. 18 key, he gets 30% attack and defense, and then Grit lowers enemy attack. Lowering enemy attack is pretty relevant these days. There's several fights where that could be good, including the new Trunks Supreme Battle Spectacle fight towards the end. That could be pretty good there. Beerus is passive. He gets 3 key, 150% attack and defense. He gets 30% damage reduction his first turn when, forcing the enemy to attack him. He gets 1 key up to 5 and 10% attack up to 70% with every attack received. So remember, in this turn, he's going to force every attack to come towards him. He gets 70% attack and defense with 3 key spheres. Then a medium chance to crit after he receives a 7th hit in battle. I could definitely hear some people saying, like, oh my god, you can't give him dodge because all the attacks are going to be forced to come towards him. I mean, keep in mind that right now he is completely shit. I mean, do you guys really think 30% damage reduction with 200k defense is going to work? No. That shit is terrible. It's literally unrunnable in real fights. Beerus will get washed so fast, dude. Gogeta Blue has this ability, and what does he do? He gets 100% chance to dodge, man. 100%. He gets 100% chance to dodge. Beerus has 30% damage reduction. So, it's Beerus. He's terrible. He's awful. By the way, this does appear to be a manga reference, by the way, which is crazy. There's a few, like, obviously they're not allowed to use, Granola, Black Frieza, Ultra Ego Vegeta, shit like that, right? But, like, there have been a couple of manga references, including that. Like, that's most definitely, that's the start of the Granola arc. Okay, here's, oh my god, yes, dude, dodge, guys, see? I try and help you guys as much as I can. A lot of y'all don't listen, and you go, oh my god, he's talking about dodge again, and blah, blah, blah. But, I prove myself over and over, right? Like, I don't know how many more times I could possibly prove myself, but I will try my best to continue proving myself. Here's a rare animation. They're 12 key on this, so you don't get to see this too often. And then Beerus will get hit again, build up a little bit. Okay, cool. We will come back for Beerus's next turn, and see how our boy continues to do. Alright, guys, we'll continue to get some more screen time for our boy. Okay, so we reach this turn. Now, Beerus, obviously, at this point, I mean, he no longer... I mean, he's got nothing, like, worth a damn at all at this point, right? Because his 30% damage reduction is only for 1 turn. So now he just becomes, like, an ultra loser, is all he is. I mean, it seems weird, but, I mean, we really are banking on this EZA so much. I love the concept of this character. I feel like making a free-to-play character like an uber defensive god at the start is cool. Like there's a lot of W's here, but he's just so bad right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a Beerus showcase, so we could do the active skill for this other Beerus here, I guess, sure.
残念だが破壊するのは僕の仕事なんだ破壊神をなめるなよ
Alright, now obviously remember that the Beerus combo would work better for fighting a Realm of Gods enemy, which I wanted to, but again, Beerus, Kid Gohan friends, and Turles friends, which I needed for the 200% leader skill for Sleepy EP Beerus. Those were kind of tough to find, right? Alright, so let's hit... No, not able to get the orbs we want. Yeah, because when Beerus transforms, he no longer Rainbow Orb changes. Like, the best parts about this character, right, like his support and his Rainbow Orb changing, he only does that in base, right? Like, he loses all that for some reason. Can we make it make sense? Why make him lose all of his good abilities when he transforms? Again, I get he's free to play. I also don't give a shit. I am so opposed to the notion that, oh, characters free to play equals bad. Like, no, they could still be good. They don't need to be bad just because they're free, right? Like, it's so easy, man. Like, I don't know. Come on, Amatsu, man. I mean, they haven't hit W's. They've had 0 dubs basically, for free to play characters for last couple years, most of the time, right? I guess Golden Week of 2023 had some good free-to-play characters, but it's very uncommon for free-to-play characters to amount to literally anything these days, which is very sad, because there's how many categories, and they're constantly doing category missions, you know, and all these difficult fights and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm being maybe a little bit negative right now, and, you know, maybe let me cool it, because we never know. The Sleepy Boy could become pretty good for us. Okay, so let's get like one more rotation for Sleepy EP Beerus, and I think we're probably good here. Alright, again, we'll just get like another rotation right here from Beerus. Amand and Raisin, we're definitely living right here, right? Pretty sure they're living right here. It's a decent rotation for Beerus. Remember, Sleepy Beerus is, of course, on Planetary Destruction. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure Amand and Raisin will live right here. I don't think they're fully built up. Yeah, they lived. Easy peasy. Not even close. Pretty good. Alright, so let me know what you guys think of Sleepy Beerus. Again, I mean, in base, he's good if they up his damage reduction to like 90% or something like that. Because if he can't attack, I don't see why he can't just be... Like, the support, attack support is good, Rainbow Orb changing is good, but he should have a little bit more, of course. And then transformed, I mean, they got to give us a lot more. He needs a lot more. Number one, also, when he's transformed, that damage reduction of his... I mean, you can't just give him 30% damage reduction and then draw every attack towards him. That has to explode up to like 90% as well. He would be interesting if the first turn you wake up, he has 90% damage reduction and then draws all attacks towards him. That is intriguing. But just right now, 30%. I mean, because remember, it's turn 5. So in most of these fights, you know, we could transform on turn 5. And it's like, that's all well and good and awesome and spectacular and super wonderful, but we're also just going to flat out die, right? Because we're going to be going up against real nasty bosses. You know, like, if we're going to take Beerus into, like, one of these real fights, turn 5, like, the boss is going to be one-shotting him through his little puny 30% damage reduction. So, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of Sleepy Pajamas Beerus. All right, so there was our boy, old Pajamas Beerus. I want to maintain high hopes for him after his EZA. So this right here, this is God of Destruction's Holiday, Beerus Pajamas. Yes, he has a new name again. I know people get upset. Oh my god, Fusion Zamasu has the same name, but very clearly that's just one of those things that's a relic of old Dokkan, where they decided to name both fusions and Masus the same thing, and they didn't want to, change any names or anything like that. They're just going to keep the status quo. It's right, like the Blue Kaioken Goku, the first one that came out is just called Blue Goku and not Blue Kaioken Goku, but then they released a later one that had it and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. But I look at this Beerus in pajamas, and to me, I feel like they heard us, and they're just going to make sure moving forward that there is more of these types of options, right? So I do like that we got that pajamas in there. Leader skills, planetary destruction, category key 3, 80% of stats. Remember that in Beerus' initial state, he cannot super attack. His passive skill, slumbering god of destruction. So he can attack. He gets 150% defense at the start of turn, 30% damage reduction, and then with each turn passed, he loses 10% damage reduction. No more than 30%. That, I mean, for his EZA to be good, that's got to jump up to 70 at least. Way higher, right? He gives all allies 20% attack during his turn, and then an additional 10% attack up to 30% at the start of each turn. Support is good, although I think I would like key and defensive support as well. Then he changes physical key spheres to rainbow key spheres, obviously very good. And then he gets 30% defense per key sphere obtained. That's also not enough. I would like to explode that, 50% defense per key sphere, something like that. Again, he can't attack. He cannot attack. So I don't see why we can't explode these numbers. He can't attack. Let's make him good, Dokkan. His active skill, God of Destruction's Awakening, that awakens him from his slumber. He could do it starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. Oh, actually, you know what I do want to look at? Yeah, where is the target all mechanic, actually? Where is it written? It's got to be written here somewhere, right? Yeah, here it is. It's part of the active skill. This Dokkan Wiki just didn't put it in yet. So he awakens from his sleep, and then he focuses enemy attacks on himself. So it's right in there. Okay. He focuses the enemy attacks on himself. And then links it, of course, is Godly Power, Prodigies, Connoisseur, The Innocent, Shocking Speed, Shutting Limit, and Legendary Power. Total key multiplier, 145%. Okay, and 24 key multiplier is 200%. I guess that is pretty uncommon for free-to-play LRs to have 150%. I think LR Vegito Blue does, but I can't think of another, actually. So there's his initial state, right? Again, I do, like, of all the aspects of this card, this is the part I like the most. Because I feel like if they're not going to let him attack, they could really go wild with support and other things, but hopefully they actually go through with it, right? Then Beerus, of course, is on a lot of different category teams. So he's on Planetary Destruction. Nice for this category to get more options, always. Beerus, of course, is on Realm of Gods. He had another nice option added to the Realm of Gods team. Realm of Gods is looking real good now. Then he's on Sibling Bond as well. Again, this guy's presence in a lot of these teams, if we could get a really nasty Hakai Beerus, and then, of course, Pajamas Beerus is good after his EZA, and we could be in business, man. Then Beerus is on Worthy Rivals as well. Okay. Beerus is also on Bond of Master and Disciple. Yup. Wait, I said this was Sibling Bond, right? Yeah, Sibling Bond, Worthy Rival right here. Bond of Master and Disciple right here. Then right here, we are on Space Traveling Warriors. This is the team we ran him on today, basically. So there's that. He's also on Super Bosses. This is the one Beerus that is on Super Bosses. I wouldn't mind if they went ahead and released some Super Bosses Beerus from the, because we obviously have the movie Bosses version. We were using him in the video here. But to get a Super Bosses regular Beerus as well would be good. That would also help out Broly. So there's that. Then, of course, Beerus is also on the Legendary Existence category team. Another team that, again, it's nice to get more buffs for. Then remember, on turn 5, we could actually transform. Well, I mean, it's a transformation. Like, as you see, like, the card art and stuff like that doesn't change. But Beerus actually wakes up. And then remember, during that first turn, he does force all attacks towards himself, right? Which, again, in order to make that not horrible, Beerus is going to need to get significantly more damage reduction than he's got, which we'll talk about in 2 seconds. So his 12 key super attack is the Diffusion Destruction Ball, which gives him 30% attack for 1 turn, colossal damage to the enemy, and then seals enemy super attack. His 18 key super is Relieving the God of Destruction Sorrow. He gets 30% attack and defense, med colossal damage, and then greatly lowers enemy attack. I do like having attack debuffing on characters. So many tough fights now, you know, kind of allow that, right? His passive skill, Terrifying God of Destruction. He gets 3 key, 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he gets 30% damage reduction for 1 turn. It just flat out not enough. Again, this guy's going to be waking up on turn 5 and drawing all attacks towards him. You are getting instant death if you use him in any tough fight. It cannot happen. 30% damage reduction, not good enough. Again, Gogeta forces every attack towards him, and he has a 100% chance to dodge. Like, this has got to be 90% damage reduction, 80% damage reduction, or else you just can't transform him, right? Unless you're in a Dokkan event. Are you in a Dokkan event? You could transform him. Are you outside of a Dokkan event? Better stay in base, buddy. Okay? So, let's hope that goes up. Then he gets an additional 1 key up to 5 and 10% attack up to 70% with each attack received. It's annoying that starting from turn 5, this bastard has to get hit 50 times, like acting like he's Super 17, that terrible design. But at least he does draw all attacks towards himself, right? So, sure. Although he can't survive if the boss decides to be serious. Then Beerus gets 70% attack and defense with 3 or more key spheres. And then he gets a... This loser gets a medium chance to, a 30% chance to crit after he gets hit 7 times. Okay, sure. And then all his links, categories, all that stuff is exactly the same. So, let me know what you guys think of Sleepy Pajamas Beerus here. I like the concept, but again, they do gotta give him quite a bit in order for him to be good. Do I think they can do it? Yes. Am I hopeful they will do it? Yes. Do I think it's likely they're going to make him super good? I don't want to answer. Just please make him good. I love this idea. It will be super good if he's good for a future Hakai Beerus, which is at this point, you know, one of the characters I really would like to see. So please make Sleepy Beerus good, please.